Hey everyone, it's Anna of Two Travel Junkies, and today I'm going to talk about Lake Tahoe. I'm doing this without Linda today as she would just be laughing and making fun of me as she usually does, as this was our first hiking adventure together, so it's pretty interesting. Just a little fact, it is about to rain here, so if you hear the thunder and lightning, sorry about that. So moving on to Tahoe, what an incredible experience. Just some fun facts about Lake Tahoe. It's the second deepest lake in the U.S. Do you know what the first one is? Feel free to comment below. It's 2/3 in California and 1/3 in Nevada, and the casinos are actually located on the Nevada side. So we actually flew in our first day. We flew into Reno and drove an hour and a half to South Lake Tahoe. It was amazing, that ride. Even though it was at night, it was still beautiful in terms of being able to see the stars because the light pollution was perfect. So it was incredible. We actually ended up pulling over to take it all in, so that was great. We just kind of hung around South Lake Tahoe, the Heavenly Ski Village area, which was really neat. Restaurants, art galleries, you know, the typical touristy stuff they have going on, as well as the auto show, which was really cool to see. The old school classic cars were pretty neat. They also actually had a race going on, and again, it was October, so they do, Tahoe is about 72 miles all the way around. So they had a whole weekend of marathons and other races that you could go all the way around. So we went to the little expo there, but no racing for us. The second day included getting breakfast at Red Hut, which is, I guess, where a lot of the locals go. So it was actually fantastic, and we didn't have to wait too long. But I would definitely recommend getting there early. So once we finished, we ended up going to our first hike. And again, this is my very first hike. So we ended up going to Mount Tallac, which, if you look on many of the apps, Mount Tallac is a hard trail. Yes, I work out every day, but nothing will prepare you for these outdoor adventures until you're actually out there. I ended up, falling, I think, down and up, if not just down, but it definitely hurts your ego a little bit. But she kept going a little bit. I was just sitting there enjoying the views until she was ready to come back down. But absolutely beautiful scenery the whole time, so no complaints there. It was actually my first time experiencing altitude sickness, and I didn't really know what that was, so we kind of stayed put that night. We didn't do too much, maybe grabbed a bite to eat, but nothing crazy. Again, I'm from Florida, so that was a whole new concept to me. The next day we went to breakfast and then went to Emerald Bay, which is a pretty popular spot, as well as Inspiration Point. We did this on our way to Tahoe City. And just a fun fact about Emerald Bay, it's actually home to Tahoe's only island, Finette Island, so that's pretty cool. The Emerald Bay area actually has a lot to do. They have the castle tour, they have a beach down there, hiking trails. You could take a boat cruise, go kayaking. It's pretty endless in terms of outdoor activities, not only in that area, but everywhere in Lake Tahoe. After we visited that area, we moved on to Tahoe City on the northwest side of the lake, then continued on to Squaw Valley. Some of you may remember that as the Olympic Valley, and it's actually one of the largest ski areas in the U.S. and host to the 1960 Winter Olympics. It's the second largest ski area in Lake Tahoe. So we just kind of played around there, toured the area, played different games, including human-sized checkers, which was fun. Finally, something I beat Linda at. The next day we enjoyed breakfast at the little cafe next to our condo there. It was really nice to just overlook the lake, which was just on the other side of the street, so it was really nice. We decided to rent bikes from Anderson Bike Rentals, and this was a blast. We went to Pope Beach, where you can swim and have a picnic, Tallac Historic Site, Kiva Beach, which is a dog-friendly beach, Rainbow Trail area, Taylor Creek. Supposedly we missed the bear by about 2 minutes, so he was feeding on the fish down there. There's also Baldwin Beach, Fallen Leaf Lake, but it was an amazing experience, and we even got to see the trail we did at Mount Tallac from a different area. It was so beautiful just looking up and seeing where we were a few days earlier. So again, it was my first mountain biking, true mountain biking experience, and I survived, but it was tough. Also on this bike rental experience, we realized that California really has the biggest pine cones we have ever seen. I'm not even joking. Some woman was filling up her trunk with these pine cones, I guess maybe for holiday gifts or decorations. I don't know, but I've never seen anything like it. So I thought that was pretty funny. Another hike we did in the Emerald Bay area was Cascade Falls. And it's a very short, moderate hike, so but amazing views as usual. So that's a highly recommended one. If you want more information, just comment below and we'll tell you some more information about that one. On to one of our favorite days. We went to Sand Harbor for some kayaking. Wow, this was one of the neatest experiences that we did on this trip. We picked the absolute most perfect day to do this, as the water was not even moving. Every other time we drove by that area, it was so choppy. So I don't know, we got so lucky, but the water is just so clear and beautiful. The experience was just amazing. And then after that, we did a little trail called the Skunk Harbor Trail. That night we ended up just going across our little rental across the street, and that's Lake Tahoe right there. So we just kind of watched the sunset. We actually ran into a couple. It was pretty neat. It puts things into perspective, but she just lost her house in one of the California fires, and he was actually in Vegas near the Vegas shooting at that time too. So kind of puts things into perspective, makes you appreciate things a little more, and it couldn't have been a better moment sharing with them, you know, watching the sunset. So that was a great way to end the day. Okay, so now we are going to talk about Mount Rose. I reference this hike to this day. This hike, I can't even describe it. People on the way, as we were going up, they were coming back down. They're like, oh, it's pretty windy up there. And I'm like, okay, you know, I'm getting a little better with things, but this was tough. People, as we got higher and higher, people were like, we had to bear crawl all the way up to the top. They weren't kidding. It was hurricane force winds, and the views were spectacular, but at the same time, I've never ran so fast down on a hike in my life. It was so cold. The clouds, when we got back down, the clouds were actually lower than the top of the peak where we just were. But I couldn't really appreciate it because I couldn't feel anything. It was so cold. But I'm so glad we did it. But I also know that if I can do that hike, I can pretty much do any hike now. So what a great way to end that trip. That was our last full day, and then we ended up going back to Reno the last night, just pretty much to sleep and then get up and come back to Florida. So I hope you enjoy these photos, and what an incredible experience. I highly recommend South Lake Tahoe, or really any area around Tahoe, if you like to ski, bike, hike, run, whatever outdoor activity you like to do, that's the place to do it. And again, they have great bars, restaurants, galleries, other things to do. Just enjoy the beach, kayaking. So there's plenty to do for everyone, even as a family. So again, Anna with 2 Travel Junkies, and we'll see you on the next time.